Okay, it's 1:07 and I am opening the meeting of the Historic Structures Advisory Board. Calling the meeting to order and accepting the agenda as it's been submitted. The announcement is, this is Nikki Rowland, Chair of HSAB. Permit me to confirm that all members and persons anticipated on the agenda are present and can hear me. Members, when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. Lucy?
Yes.
Jason?
Yes.
And Angus is probably trying to log in. Having trouble.
I did have to type it all in.
Okay, but that worked. All right.
Yeah, it took a minute though.
I'll try to get that information to Angus in a second. So no staff and no anticipated speakers. This open meeting of HSAB is being conducted remotely pursuant to Chapter 20, the Acts of 2021. For this meeting, HSAB is convening by video conference via Zoom app as posted on the town's website, identifying how the public may join. Note this meeting is being recorded and the votes will be taken by roll call. Angus is on the ferry, so who knows how that'll go.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll go ahead anyway. We're going to start with number 1 on old business. It's 71 Orange Street. Oh, and I've got to share screen. Here we go. Okay. 71 Orange. Can you see the building on the screen?
Yes.
Okay. We've seen this before, and the HDC asked them to, I guess, simplify the trim. And I kind of wish you'd redrawn it, but we're getting some notes saying remove soffit. So that's as good as it's looking at the moment. Before we said that these shed dormers on either side weren't very appropriate. They're kind of unusual for an old utility building like this, and the garage doors should be simpler. So I'm basically reiterating those same comments and saying the long shed dormers should be broken up to reduce the amount of shingled area in the dormers, and the garage doors should be of a simpler style. Lucy or Jason, do you want to add anything to that or edit that some?
No, just what side faces the, I don't remember where it is on the lot, or where the lot is.
Here's the site plan. Here's Orange Street over here in silver.
Oh, this was the one that work had been done that didn't seem like it had been approved.
Yeah, they claimed that this, or somebody said on the previous notes that the landscaping was already approved, the hardscaping. So whatever that's there, it's facing silver. So the part you'll see from silver is mostly the front doors, of course, right there.
Yeah, I agree with what you have said.
Okay. Lucy, anything else?
Yeah, I mean, I agree, but should be a very simple secondary structure. The main house is 1822. And I think it should be appropriate for that era or close to it.
Yeah. It's, you know, it's a garage. It's hard to get around that, but we wanted to make it look as rustic or old as possible. So I think if they could simplify the doors, that would help. Here's Angus. All right, we'll go on to the next, which is 36 Easton Street. This is basically just they've already approved quite a bit of these changes, but they're back for some revisions. You can see from the roadside, they've changed this shed dormer thing and added another one, both to hips. And I guess a little bit of change in the front here with this wider gable. The only thing that concerned me, or the things that concerned me the most about this one, were these flush situations, dormer situations here. Excuse me one second. Angus McLeod, are you there?
I'm here, Vicky.
Okay, good.
Sorry, I'm on the ferry.
That's good. All right. So I was just going to suggest that on the old house that this eave line runs all the way through, all around the building, but they're proposing to break that eave line in these both east and west sides. And to me, that wouldn't be that hard to run. You know, if they could set the dormers back a little bit, but even if they don't, they can still run the eave line through. So both sides, east and west, here's the same thing on the east. Wouldn't be that hard to run this through, although these don't seem to line up, but we'll figure that out. So my comment was, the existing house has an eave line at the porch roof wrapping around the entire house. That eave line is interrupted by the proposed additions, creating two-story walls. It would be preferred to have that eave line maintained on the east and west elevations. So anything else?
Um,
Ann, how are you?
Looking at the house from Easton Street, I haven't been down there recently.
Oh, looks good. I mean, it's
Lisa, there was a meter box on the left-hand side, a large one, and that should be either moved around the corner or boxed in.
Okay, so from, where is it, Lucy?
Looking at the house from Easton Street, there was a large meter box on the left-hand side, left-hand corner
Yep.
of the building. I don't know if it's still there. I haven't been down that way recently, but it should be put around the corner of the building. But it definitely should be boxed in.
Okay, I'll note that too. Anything else?
Well, it's nice that they kept the chimneys on the top.
True, yeah. Angus, do you have any comments?
I agree with what's been said, definitely about maintaining an eave line through there. And I think that it would be worth, a foot or two setback to make the eave look more than like a token tag on.
Yeah. Okay, I think that's a good idea too. I'll add that. I mean, it works with that concept even better, so I'll add that.
Mickey, you can see the meter box on the first floor plan. It shows the meter box on that corner of the building.
Meter, yep. Okay, noted. All right, let's move on to the next, which is 11 Holbert. So this is Val, but she's not here. No. Okay, we've seen this before, I think. It looks familiar, the storyline of the house being split in half. Maybe we saw the other, but I think it was this one. Can't remember. Anyway, there's quite a bit of change going on. I guess the purple is, new windows and railings. And they're infilling a porch. I didn't really have any concern about the massing changes to this building. Some of the windows were not quite appropriately scaled. And another thing that bothered me on this elevation, this is facing the water. They're showing, in the elevations, they're showing a fairly, wide separation between, shingled area here. Yet on the floor plan, it's the second floor. It's just not, it's not consistent. you know, that something isn't drawn to scale. And I think that it's important to get things right. It's also showing on the floor plan. The stair is on the outside of the deck. Do you see that? The stair is out here on the outside of the porch. Yet on the elevations, the stair is cut into the deck, into the porch.
Oh,
You don't even see it from the water. So again, sort of an inconsistency on the drawings that I think they could clarify better. I've got a couple of other comments which I'll read. The spacing of the north side windows and doors is important to show properly. Floor plans and elevations don't show the same thing. Please clarify. Single pane exterior doors are not appropriate. That's these big French doors here and maybe elsewhere. Divided lights should be used. The floor plan shows the exterior stair on the water side in a different place than the elevations. Please clarify which one it is. The east elevation shows an exterior door that looks more like a screen door. What is the main door behind it? I think that's, well, there's one here, east. Where's east? Right here. So it's this door here. It looks like, to me, it looks like a screen door. So there's got to be something else back there. Some of the new windows have a wider proportion than the existing windows. They should match the existing window proportions. That's this window here on the east.
mhm.
And there was another one
Those
right
gable
here. Here's another
windows.
wide
Yeah.
window there.
The gable windows too.
Yeah, and I've got that next.
Okay.
The third floor gable windows are too square. They should be narrower to match the existing window proportions. The north facing balcony right here should be a little less wide to allow the porch roof to be more dominant than the balcony. And they're proposing to replace, I think the proposal is to replace all of the windows with Anderson STLs. So I said removing all the historic windows is inappropriate. The new windows should be wood STLs to better match the existing ones. So
They do it. What's the age of the house again?
um,
And did they do a window survey?
no. Not that I'm aware of.
1920s.
So those feasibly could be the original 100-year-old windows.
These could easily be originally, a lot of them, yeah.
I think we need a window survey, but I don't agree with SDLs.
Okay,
I'm with Jason. I agree that there should be true divided light.
okay,
But if they are original to the 20s, then that should show up in the survey. You know, they should be restored.
yes, definitely. It's an old house, and I'm sure that's, well, I don't know. I would assume that many of the windows are still there. Let's look at the photographs.
Mm.
Pretty hard to tell, but it's not evident that there are new windows. So I think we can assume they're mostly old. Anything else to add?
Yes. I think this house will look better with gray trim instead of white.
Yeah, I kind of like the green.
Yeah, so do I.
I know, well, I do too, but that, you know, a lot of people today don't like the dark green. They don't
Yep.
get it. So that's why I'm saying gray.
But that green, in my mind, is a you know, early turn of the century summer cottage kind of green.
Oh,
I
yeah.
feel like that there used to be more of those down along Brant Point and more of them along like the Bluff and Sconset with that kind of green.
Yeah.
It's
And
almost like chrome green
Yeah.
rather than Essex.
I think it's a shame to leave that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll add that. I think that's a good point.
I think the dark green it's much more suiting to the building and the period of the building. But also, I think what would make a huge difference is for the storm windows to have that same color, or as close to it as possible, because it looks like there's kind of this white stripe in the middle of the green
Yeah.
that detracts.
Yep. That's doable.
Are the windows on the north facing elevation, first floor, are the middle windows, and are those larger than,
Definitely.
so that I have a problem with.
You know, also, Mickey, I feel like I just saw a gable window on one of the photographs and it's not on the existing drawings. Like there was a long skinny window up in the gable, I think.
Okay, let me look at the photographs.
I could be wrong. Where did I see it? Maybe I was looking at a different house.
Well, there were
Is it the
pictures of
other-
another house here.
Maybe that's what I was looking at.
Where'd they go?
I don't see it.
I saw it in something because it was tall and skinny.
Tall, skinny window.
And it felt like it was a color photograph. Unless it was a neighbor. No.
Oh, yeah, I think it's a neighbor.
Oh, it's a neighbor. It's that one.
Yeah.
This is the house.
Is it the house?
Yes, because they're
Oh, okay.
extending the porch and filling in this area here. So this is the house. And you're right, it is a tall, skinny window. So this would be on the north, that'd be on the
Yeah, that needs to be part of the
west.
window survey because that's not, it's like that little squat
So
thing.
that would be west, where's west, right here. So they're, for whatever reason, proposing to replace.
Yeah, because it's not in the drawing above the existing.
Add window like existing first floor east.
About just keeping the window that's there.
Where's the first floor east? It's first floor east. I don't see it. Anyway, yeah, so there is that existing third floor window. So they should probably want to match that one.
Yeah,
And it's not showing here. Well, it's right there, but you can't see it very well.
okay.
Okay, so here it is. Yep. It's pretty skinny,
Mhm.
but it looks good there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
proportionate, it fits with that.
Yeah, okay. I'll mention that. Okay. Anything else on this one?
No,
Not hearing much. So we'll go on to 20 Orange Street. Oh, this is just, yeah, it's Lisa.
For you. Unfortunately, I won't be able to stay on for the next two, but I did want to pop on for this.
Okay,
I wish I could stay. Just have a conflict at 1:30.
okay.
So this is
Um,
just the removal of an exterior basement access that faces Orange Street.
And that's it. Is that right?
That's it.
So was it proposed and you're removing it, or is it existing and you're removing it?
It's existing and we're removing it.
Okay, so you'll be filling in,
Yeah, it's the driveway. It's a brick driveway.
okay, so whatever
You gotta, yeah.
doesn't show driveway, but that'll be brick to replace it.
Mhm.
Okay,
I mean, they just never use it. We think that the people that maybe had the house before, he was a big fisherman, so I think he went down that way to come into the house, but they really feel like they're gonna walk around the back. So they're, at this point, they're proposing to remove it. Maybe once they're in the house, they might think differently, but they wanted to just make sure it was okay to get rid of it if they chose to.
I don't have any problem. Anybody care about this one?
No concerns.
Yeah, no
No
concern.
concerns.
All right, good. Thanks, Lisa.
You're welcome.
So down to Old North Wharf, which is, they want to remove this little cottage, which is a shame. So this is looking at it from Easy Street. I'm not sure where that's from.
Is that the Bonton?
I don't know what the Bonton is, but it
That
probably,
little store
No,
that
it's
Anne
not.
Killen. Okay.
yeah. So kind of, you know, you kind of assume they're going to do something with the lot once it's gone. We don't have any idea what that is, but they want to remove this first. And it's demo or move commercial shed. And this is Linda Williams, but I don't see her on the list, so she's not here.
I question the age, but do we have any other historic information on it?
Well, she's saying 1930s. I can believe that. Here's yeah, she has 1935.
I can't see that.
Maybe right in this area. Streets were different back then. There's something different going on with Easy Street at the time. Here it is again, 38.
There's nothing earlier than that, though.
No, 30s is early enough for me.
Oh, yeah, I don't think it should be removed, but
I don't think we're seeing any Sanborn maps. Unfortunately, it should show up. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe here's one. Here we go. Not shown on Sanborn maps through 23, she says, but first time on is 1949.
the thing is, I'd like to see the earlier Sanborn maps.
Me too.
I also just question if it got moved there from somewhere else nearby, because it was the wharf, so they're functional
Yeah.
working.
So it
Shafts,
could be
whatever.
older and just move there. You're right.
Because they, you know, those things got all moved around down there.
Maybe older than 30s. So I basically said, removing this classic cottage would drastically change the character of the existing historic streetscape. This cottage should remain in place to maintain the simple pedestrian scale of Still Dock.
I agree with that. You know, there are buildings like this, and then there, you know, a full 1-story, 2-story, and so on. And it is the graduation of volumes that really gives the town charm. So it's important to keep some things this scale.
I think so too. I go over and Easy Street.
Does Mary have any, or MPT have any information about the history of this cottage or structure?
Is that a question to Mary Bergman?
Yes.
Angus, hi, can you repeat yourself? Sorry.
Oh, sorry, the connection's not the best. I was just curious if you guys had any history on this structure.
Thanks. We don't, unfortunately. I do think, though, that you're on the right track of really wanting to compare this to, you know, that North Wharf where it is situated and set, and the scale of those cottages and how this relates to those, I think is really important.
Yeah, I mean, I hate to see them take this down and put it in a 2-story building, which is.
Yeah,
I think it's very dangerous that there's so many, or to see a demolition application, especially without knowing what's gonna go there.
Yeah, I mean, that'll really change this area a lot. Yeah, okay, so I'm going to add to my notes that this cottage may be older than the 30s, may have been moved there. Anything else you want me to say about this one?
No, I mean, from an architectural and historic standpoint, it's also just quintessentially like the wharf. It just, I guess I'm just flabbergasted that somebody would remove it.
Yeah. Yep.
I want to remove it.
All right, is that it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So next we have 7 New Street hardscape. Gonna get lost here. No, hang on, I'll get it. Here we go. So this is New Street, but it's really facing Warren Street. This is Warren Street at the top and New Street at the bottom. Most of,
Mickey, we've still got Easy Street
did I
on the
skip
screen, I
something?
think. Oh, there we go. No, I had Easy Street on the screen and maybe it's just a slow screen.
Yeah, it's coming up at the end, I think.
I've
Yeah.
got it now. Thanks.
Yep. So here we have, this is New Street.
Wow.
It's really, it's kind of squeezed in between these 2 buildings. It's a pretty dense area. So this picture, if you can see this, is where all this stuff is going to happen in here. It's actually quite a step down, apparently, from New Street down to Warren, because there's a deck change of about 4 feet. These double 2 different level decks. But my bigger concerns are the fence and the fire pit.
Mhm.
Um,
It's too much.
it's a lot.
There's no grass. It's all covered in some form.
Yeah.
Good luck with the flooding.
So the fence they're proposing right along Warren is 4 feet high with a gate. That to me is not quite right. So I said a 4-foot picket fence is not appropriate right on the edge of Warren Street. It should be 3 feet max. A fire pit within 8 feet of Warren Street is also not appropriate. It'll be very visible at night when in use. And square cut bluestone patio is not appropriate in the OHD. It should be natural colored irregular stone. That's right here. Will you see it? I don't know, maybe a little, depending on the vegetation. But the fire pit and the fence were the biggest ones. On the front, what is the, it doesn't say what the paving material is here. It's
Does the
getting
outdoor
wider.
shower, sorry, already exist on the front of that smaller piece? Is that already there or is that being proposed?
I don't know.
Because it shouldn't be on the front of a building.
Well, I guess it's, if you're looking at it from New Street, it's on the front. It's kind of on the back if you're looking at it from Warren. To me, it was far enough in back and they're probably gonna screen it pretty well. That didn't bother me too much. It's a ways off of New Street. The paving material, yeah, they don't give us much in terms of the details here. In terms of the paving. So,
Stone veneer walls? Does that say
Oh.
walls, stone veneer? Where's that?
Yeah, you're right. You're glad you're bringing that up. That's right here,
Yeah,
this stone wall, kind of mostly behind this, I think it's a new building going in there.
But that's a fake wall.
Well,
I
it's
don't think it's appropriate.
it's on the edge of, is that a stoop? Down 12 stoop. Yeah. I don't know why the wall runs this way. I mean, I guess it's it's retaining. It's probably retaining the back so they can get this on level ground. Didn't seem like a big concern for me, but if you want me to just comment on it, I will.
I just don't think it's appropriate. I mean, if it's a wall, it's a wall. It's not a wall that has pieces of stone that are adhered to it that then it,
Do they detail that stone wall?
no,
they just say veneer, which to me is stones cut into pieces and then glued on.
Stone wall and deck.
yeah, it says stone veneer.
It's on the app.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're gonna, oops, sorry. Here we go. If that's the wall they're proposing, that's not good.
you know,
Yeah. Okay.
But also just the things that are being shown are in a totally different context too. Do you know what I'm saying? Like
I know.
some stuff might be appropriate somewhere else, but not right in the middle of the old historic district.
Right. Which this is definitely not. Okay, any other thoughts?
yeah, there are no details on this fire pit. And I'll tell you one thing, living downtown after the recent fire,
Yep.
Yeah,
I can't have anything to do with thinking this is a good idea up on,
I completely agree.
Yeah.
you know, you've got all this landscaping around it. It's right up on the hill. You know, some renter leaves stuff in there or branch, there goes a third of the town.
Well, we already had that out near me. Somebody decided to light a fire pit and just walked away from it, and it had flames shooting, 10 feet into the air.
Oh, wow.
They just went in the house and forgot about it. So we
Yikes.
made a phone call.
All right, so Lucy, you're saying you'd like to see details in the fire pit and don't really like it, period, anyway.
Yeah, I think it's
Yeah.
totally inappropriate. It's out of scale. Well, I don't like it, the idea anyway, but there's no detail.
Yep.
There, I mean, what are is it the seating areas around? I mean, what are the materials we have? We don't know.
Yeah, it's definitely, the whole plan is kind of lacking. Well, I guess that in particular is lacking in detail.
And look, she's got a large tree right near the
Yeah, the fire
fire
pit.
pit.
Right.
I mean, geez.
Okay, anything else?
No,
Moving on to 6 New Whale Lane fuel tanks. Another valve. This is, I thought we were getting rid of fuel tanks, but I guess we're adding a couple more.
I really didn't understand this application.
Well, they're back up close to the back of the Stop and Shop. I think the other tanks are going away, and maybe some already have gone away. But they're proposing them to be surrounded by a 5-foot-high concrete wall with the tops of the tanks sticking out above the wall. And they'll look like this. So, we don't need to do that. I just said that a full height 8-foot or so shingled walls should surround the concrete wall to screen both this concrete wall and the top of the fuel tanks. And, I don't care if it's just a shingled wall without a roof. I think anything will look better than a concrete wall with fuel tanks sticking above them.
Yeah, it looks like Texas.
Well, it doesn't look too
Can it-
hot the way it is, but
Can those tanks be painted gray too?
it could probably be painted anything you want if they're visible. I'd rather not see them make them visible at all.
Well, I know, but even if they aren't visible at all, I'm just thinking of the people in the area looking down from their second floor window.
Okay, yeah, it's a good idea. Nathan Gray. Anything else? Okay. Down to,
Mickey, do you want to add plantings to that? We'd like to see a landscape plan.
I don't know
Well,
if they can
there's-
plant down there.
it could. That's a good thought, Lucy. Let's just suggest they plant around the wall. I think that's a good idea.
No, I mean, I'm not talking about a, row of similar plants, but, here and there, different shrubs just to break up a high wall.
Yeah, I mean, they
If
can,
they have to put it in planters though. I mean, isn't that all
well, they're ripping up all the concrete and stuff. As far as I know. They'll
so
figure it
could
out.
technically go back to dirt? I just imagine them doing gravel, but so that's also why maybe a landscape plan, just so we know what it is that is replacing the,
Mhm.
besides just trees, but so it's not like a wasteland of.
Yeah,
Yeah, they can figure out plantings. It's not that hard. Okay. So this is India Street. This is next door. This is Lisa's also, but it's right next door to the other one they were working on, I believe. The front is, I guess, staying the same, except for this addition that pokes around the side, which is this big addition to the back of the building. The back is really getting altered. It's not really said, but it seems like it's getting, I don't know if it's getting demoed or just added on to a lot. There was a plan. Existing footprint. And then here's the new version out around it. You have to assume they're taking down the existing gable and rebuilding it completely.
This is what you call it, right?
So that's existing.
This is the treehouse lot, right? Or
This is, no, it's not. It's
No.
next door to it.
it's the house, but they shared off a lot. Is that what you're saying? Or it's the house next to the house with the treehouse?
It's the house next to the house with the tree house.
Okay.
it's to the west.
Yeah, closer to Gardner.
Liberty, not Gardner.
Liberty, thank you, you're right, yep.
Can I point out that the windows on the original back wing, those windows look like we're losing them.
She did say relocate existing windows here.
Okay, but the originals are 12 over 12.
Yeah, the originals are 12 over 12s, and those are disappearing completely. All these windows are going to be new, I'm sure.
What is the age of the house and the age of the additions? Do we have that information?
I think I saw 1830 somewhere, 1831. The addition isn't mentioned. There's no other historical information.
Does that tiny little dormer on the back under the chimney, is that already existing?
Yes, there's one that's
Okay.
existing. They're proposing another. So I didn't have a lot to say about what's going on with the main mass. I mean, unfortunately, I think what's happening is they're removing, it's a double chimney house, central fireplaces, two of the side rooms. Where's the floor plan? Living room. So this is existing, two main chimney masses. And they're well, there looks like they're completely rebuilding one. No, wait a minute. That's the second floor. Sorry. Here's the proposed. So they're keeping one, but removing the other. Yet they're showing it on the elevation. So that'll be a fakey. So that's apparently no change. So, you know, they're adding a window or relocating an existing window where there was nothing before. It seems fine to me. There used to be this little window that's coming out and putting in a relocated other window. That didn't bother me.
Can you click back to the original view of that side, please?
Yep.
Is that a flat roof that exists? Or no, never mind. I see the line now. Never mind. No, against the original mass, I see the roof line.
Yeah. So the concern I had is this roof line projecting out, which is when you look at the back of the house, you see what that really is, which is right here. So it's this big 2-story shed. So you're seeing a 4-pitch, or they say 5-pitch, projecting off the side, which is, you know, a gable, a normal, you know, 8-9-pitch gable projecting off the side. I think that would be normal and acceptable. But this shallow pitch thing bothered me. It just looks like this big 2-story shed that's sticking off the side. And you will see from an angle on the street, you'll be able to look back and see, you know, just a little bit more of that. Where is it? Right here from the street side. So my comment was the 5 and 12 roof pitch of the proposed 2-story shed addition on the east side will be visible from India Street. This is an inappropriate pitch for a 2-story mass. You want to add anything else to this one? The back is not going. I don't think this is going to be very visible. You can't. I don't think you'll see it from Rose Lane, and Thurston's Court is kind of there, but I don't think you'll see it from there either. Any other thoughts here?
No, I'm sorry to see those 12 over 12s go.
I know. So here's the old. This whole rear wing is 12 over 12s.
And the basement too, of the main body.
Yeah, right. What's going on there? Those are sort of staying in the basement there. You know, would it make sense to propose that the addition to kind of stick to the storyline, use 12 over 12s? Just swapping them all out for 6 over 6s. What do you think about that one?
Sure. Angus, what do you have to say about that? Oh, he's gone. He's on the ferry.
Oh, did we lose him? No, he's still there. I don't know if he can hear us. Yeah, I mean, let's throw it out. It's a possibility. Where are we? 30 India. Maybe 12 over 12s back. All right, anything else? Next, we have back down to Easton. Is that right? 40 Easton. This is another Lisa, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't have much to say about this. The changes aren't, I mean, no real fenestration changes, although actually there are. I'm seeing this. This was 5. This is a previous approval. So they've gone from 5 to 4 over here. So they've just narrowed this wing a little. Fine. And on the other sides, oh, they're shifting the garage over. I think that was sort of the main event going on here. Getting it out of the setback, I think. It's not a change to the design of the garage. It's just the location. And they've added more deck to the water side. So I think this piece right here is probably new, this little chunk. And they're moving the garage out of the setback. I don't know, does anybody have any real concerns about this one? Oh, you know, all right, my only comments were, this is one of those ones where these really long monotonous skirt board things. I just said breaking up the long skirt board with piers would be appropriate. And we've said that on other projects to Lisa, in fact, and I think she was amenable to that. So maybe that'll stick. It's just a lot of plain old skirt.
Is it painted?
Skirt.
I don't remember. What did it say?
Well, it says foundation natural.
So that's the foundation area. So it's hopefully that's natural to weather skirt board.
But I agree with breaking it up.
Yeah.
Okay, so you know that was my only comment really about the skirt board. Any other concerns from anybody else?
No, I think this is a big improvement from what exists now.
Okay, that's nice. All right, next we have some changes out on Washington Street, 92 Washington. They're basically just adding width to this, you know, making one side just as wide as the other side. It didn't seem like that big a deal.
But they've added an outdoor fireplace. Did you see that?
Well, that's not applying for that here. Oh, here on the elevation.
Yeah, but they've added it.
Huh. No, I didn't see that.
Yeah, let me.
Ooh.
Oh.
All right.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, oh.
No.
Yeah, outdoor fireplaces they're not good. Let's say that's not appropriate. Good catch. I mean, if you can't see it, you can't see it, but I'm sure you'll see it in this location. Okay, and lastly, we have this one. So we have 26 Easy Street. So this is interesting. This is a change from the previous version where they were going to demo this building and replace it with something else. I think this is a better approach and improvement. I've had some comments about the details, but actually Matt is on here. So Matt, do you want to talk about this one?
You know what, I'm having a little bit of difficulty with my audio. So I'm having a difficult time hearing you. So why don't you guys just make your comments? But basically this is a proposal for retail first floor. It's a concrete block first floor because obviously the floodplain is very high. And so the idea is that the first floor is basically flood proof. And we also thought it would help to change the material. You know, we're open to other finishes. This is just parged. And then there's basically an apartment above it. And there is an existing second floor deck access from the adjacent building. And so we're kind of merging the two, if you will. As far as the style of the structure, again, we've kind of, you know, we're very familiar with the historic vernacular of this area, and we tried to reference those images and reflect those in this design. So with that, look forward to comments from the board, and apologies. Let me just see if I can get my speakers to work. Just not cutting it.
Well, we hear you fine, Matt. So,
Okay, thank you.
okay, I've got several. They're not.
Oh,
I guess-
one other thing, Mr. Chair.
Go ahead.
Sorry, we did submit some additional supplemental perspectives of buildings in the area where we masked out the other structures, and we did submit that to, I guess it went to Holly, but I don't know if it made it to you as well.
Well, what did we get? There was a perspective down here. I mean, is that what you're
No,
thinking of?
that's we did a whole series of them.
Oh.
So anyways, I'll see if I can't forward those to you.
Okay. All right, so I'll just throw out my comments. This is a good view to look at it from. The main eave line is awkwardly high above the second floor windows, presenting a 2 3/4 story building rather than a normal 2.5 story building. The eave should drop down to the top of the attic floor as is normally done. And that's really evident, I think, right here, the change, the space right there. The steep roof pitch creates a very vertical mass. It should be a shallower pitch. The west shed dormer should be broken into 2 dormers with 2 windows each to reduce the amount of shingled area. It feels like the desire for 2 large 3rd floor bedrooms is adding to the height and volume more than necessary. Smaller bedrooms will still fit, and the overall height can decrease. The projecting 2nd floor shed right here should have a roof that should not have a roof that extends from the main roof line. It should have its own isolated, shallower pitched roof. I don't mind this projection. It's a little quirky, but it didn't bother me. I just think that the detailing might be different. And then a full height concrete wall is not appropriate for the OHD. And I'm not sure this is a great suggestion, but a natural brick wall might be more suitable, or perhaps just shingles. So those were my comments. Anybody else?
I was thinking of the brick wall too. I'm not a fan of that bump out, but it has happened in other places, but on a much smaller scale in town.
Yep.
I'm just wondering if there's a way to add to the quirkiness by putting a window in that little piece that's facing the street, so it's not just a strange blank wall.
Yeah.
It is a little tall, so I do have issues with that, but and on the front, how do those open on the front facing the street? Those pieces, do those?
The doors?
Yeah.
It's like they swing in.
So these are stores, not actual garages.
Yes, Matt said that it's retail, it's commercial or retail, and yeah, they're definitely showing that, not garages.
So do we have other stores that I'm not thinking of that have doors that open like that? So both would be open. So it's like this store is part of the street.
Well, it's a question.
I think that you could have
Maybe on
one fixed and
Street, maybe?
one functions and
Yeah.
one is fixed. But I'm questioning that kind of feeling.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't really thought of that. It is different. You're right. I mean, they're just, it's almost like it's a converted garage when you look at it like this.
Yeah, I mean, warm climate areas might have that kind of thing, but I don't feel like we do have that kind of thing. I can't think of anything in town
Mhm.
off the top of my head that opens like that.
Okay. Doors.
Like I
Anything
said, I don't have
else?
a problem with them being there as long as one of them is fixed.
Okay. Anybody else on this?
Are those just plank shutters?
It looks like it. Very simple plank shutters, Ben. Yeah.
Are they
And
painted? Sorry.
what about the third floor window there being smaller than the second floor?
Yeah. Well, yes, I would agree with that. And I'm hoping that the area that this window is within could get reduced in size because of this, the plate issue. And then a smaller window would definitely be more appropriate.
What is the paint color scheme and like what are the shutters and the trim and the windows and those
Yeah, I think
quote-unquote
it's,
garage doors?
Quaker gray for the doors, sash is Hamilton blue, trim Quaker gray, decking natural.
I'm not sure the Hamilton blue is the best option for in that area, but
what was Hamilton blue? Were the doors Hamilton blue?
Sash is Hamilton blue,
Okay.
doors are Quaker gray.
Quaker gray, yeah, okay.
we tend not to have a lot of windows that are painted blue. It tends to be more of a door thing.
Yeah, I kind of think you're right about that.
But let's see. It doesn't say what the shutters are.
Well,
Oh,
looking at-
shutters are Newport blue.
So
Ooh.
two different color blue.
Really? Well,
There's too many colors.
yeah, I mean, blue shutters is not unusual. I'm not sure if it's right for this location, but I've seen them out of Brant Point enough.
Yeah, they're for little houses,
Yeah.
like mine. I just think that with the too many colors and you got a lot of stuff going on in this building.
Yeah.
Would make it too busy or cute.
Yeah, I like this direction. I think it's workable. I just think it needs to scale down a smidge and some details. But overall, I kind of like it. We've lost Angus. Any other comments from anybody? Is that a no?
No, hold on a second. I had something, maybe it was. No, go ahead. Maybe it was another one.
Okay, Angus is actually trying to get back in. Let me see if he has anything to say. Angus, can you hear us? Angus? We're about to finish this up, Angus. If you have any comments, now's the time. It's not available. Okay. I want to call him. I think this is a good one. I just want to see if he has any verbal thoughts. Find him. Excuse me. Angus? Okay, well, I tried. picked up but dropped off. All right, it's probably right in the middle. So, all right, I think we've made the comments that we need to make. I'm going to add something about the color and maybe conceive possibly fixing one of those doors. And I think that's really it beyond what I've said earlier. So I think we're good.
Mickey, I do have 2 comments about 92 Washington.
Oh, okay.
It says on the plans that the brick chimney and all the brickwork to be painted Quaker gray.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, we probably prefer natural brick.
yeah. And the E-Pay decking that they want to use, should we stipulate that that should not be oiled so it weathers out to gray?
I don't think that's going to be a problem. E-Pay is, even if you oil it, I think eventually that's going to gray out. I mean, maybe not, but even if it doesn't, not sure that's a big concern really. It'll be brown, be dark brown.
Okay,
The town in the, not really our purview, but we really should start thinking about not letting people paint foundations that are in flood areas, because all that stuff comes off and just goes into the ocean.
Oh, interesting. The paint stuff. Yeah.
and on this one, that brick clad masonry piers, they want to paint Quaker gray.
No,
The
It's all
piers
be
too,
natural.
besides the
Okay.
chimney.
Okay. All brick to be natural.
Yeah,
Yep. Got it. Okay. Good catch.
and box in the meters.
Are they showing?
I don't know, I can't, there's so much stuff going on here, that's.
Yeah. Okay. I'll just note it anyway.
Thank
All
you.
right. Hey, Angus, if you can hear us, are you still there? He's just totally dropped out. Huh? Where is he? Angus? No,
he's there, but
I know. All right. So I think we can close out. Matt, if you're still there, thanks for showing up. I don't see you anymore. But I think we're done for the day. That's it on the agenda, unless there's something else anybody has to talk about.
Well, if everybody saw that the email from Esmeralda that we're good for Zoom until the end of next year.
Yeah, I'm not sure it's the end of next year, but it's at least the end of this year. It's usually been 6 months. Maybe it's 23, but anyway, we're good for a while.
Hold on. Okay, she says, I believe we will be on Zoom for a while. To my understanding, the provisions were extended until December 2023. And also for your information, our conference room has been upgraded. Internet is no longer an issue.
Well, that's good news. If we ever
Yeah.
have to go back to meeting there.
A bunker.
But I think we're good here, right where we are for a while.
Oh, yeah, good.
And
Hey, you guys, sorry, my connection was so poor, but I was listening the whole time.
okay. Well, it's not too late, Angus. Do you want to add something to 26 Easy Street?
That's 26 Union,
Easy.
Easton.
Easy. 26 Easy Street.
I think he's gone again.
Always a challenge on the boat. All right. I'm going to assume that's, well, that we're not going to hear back from him. So I'm going to take a motion for, to accept the minutes,
Yes,
seconded by Jason.
Yes,
All those in favor?
bye.
Aye. And motion to adjourn,
yes.
seconded by
Seconded.
Jason. All
Yeah.
those in favor? Aye.
Bye.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye,
Bye.
thanks,
Okay.
Mickey.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
Diane.